Hey you guys, what's up? This is Gabby, and this video is going to be centered around whether or not you should use a recruiter when you're applying to the Epik program. So I do want to first make a disclaimer. If you are applying for a private school or a hagwon in Korea, this video may not be applicable to you because it is, important to use a recruiter when applying to these institutions because, as you all probably know from the horror stories, you may get placed in a hagwon that isn't very legit. So working with a recruiter who's a little bit more familiar with Korea and the education scene and the different hagwons and private schools will probably be a better bet for you because they can help to guide you to a very credible organization that you may not have to worry about. But anyways, this is focused on the Epik program. When I was doing my research and thinking about applying for Epik, I kind of had a feeling that I didn't want to use a recruiter. However, when I was researching, everyone else, it seemed like they used a recruiter, so I didn't really have much to go off of. And I kind of took a risk with going without a recruiter because I didn't know if it was going to work or not. I didn't know if it would be successful. However, I am here to tell you that I did not use a recruiter. I went through the process all by myself, and I was successful. I passed the interview. I sent in all my paperwork and it was all correct. And right now I'm just in the process of waiting to be placed in a school. So everything is done and I was able to do it successfully. So these are some times when I think it may be good to not use a recruiter. When you start the process late, because let's be honest, when you do use a recruiter, it is slowing the process down because you have to send all of your paperwork to the recruiter, they have to approve it, and then it has to go to Epik. So it's like a middleman who is, going to make the process of applying that much slower. Also, if you are good at following directions, if you're a very detail-oriented person and if you are able to read the fine print and, be very careful when doing applications and when following directions, you may be okay with not using a recruiter. Like myself, I'm very detail-oriented, probably sometimes too detail-oriented, but in this case, it ended up working for me and not against me. So, if you haven't applied yet, there are very strict guidelines when applying for Epik, so it is very important to pay close attention to everything. So if you aren't very detail-oriented or if you're not good at following directions, then you may be more successful if you use a recruiter. Also, if you are a cool, calm, and collected person who doesn't freak out, then you may be okay with going without a recruiter. I am not a very cool, calm, collected person, and mind you, I did have very high stress during the application process. However, I was able to get through that and was able to come out successful. But if you are a very cool, calm, collected person, I do think that your likelihood of being successful without a recruiter is going to be that much higher because it's a high stress process, but if you have someone there who's helping you every step of the way, then it may make things easier for you. Also, if you're very set on a certain location and you want the process to go efficiently and quickly, then you may want to not do a recruiter because, as I mentioned before, a recruiter really does slow the process down. For example, I wanted to be in Daegu and I was really set on that location, so I decided to not use a recruiter so that my likelihood of getting my paperwork in quickly and getting placed where I wanted would be that much higher. Also, I do want to talk about the fact that if you do go through Epik, after you pass the interview stage, you will be placed with an Epik Coordinator. And, my Epik Coordinator was fantastic. Her name was Kelsey, and she was there to answer any questions or help me with any concerns that I had. So with me, staying in touch with her and with her applying to my questions and concerns so quickly, I really didn't feel the need to have a recruiter. I felt like she was a recruiter for me because she was very determined to make sure that I was successful and to make sure that she received the paperwork so that she could start referring me to different provinces and cities. So I felt like she really did care about me getting my paperwork in on time and continuing on with the process. So I really didn't feel that I needed a recruiter. Also, I was on the Epik Facebook page very frequently, and there was a lot of people who asked questions on there, and the person who's over that Facebook page would respond very quickly. I mean, no, it didn't take them any more than 24 hours to respond to different questions and concerns that people were posting on the page. So just having that platform to use, I felt like, you know, I really didn't need a recruiter. And also just looking at different YouTube videos and looking at different online platforms and online websites, it helped me out a lot. And a lot of people ask questions who have already been through the process and already succeeded with the process, so I felt like I was able to learn from their experiences. So if you are considering not using a recruiter, I'm here to say that it is possible if you are applying through the Epik program. So definitely do consider it, because as I mentioned before, it can make the process go much faster. And if you are applying late, then you may not you know, want to waste the extra time and go through the extra steps of getting a recruiter. However, I do know a lot of people who got a recruiter and, you know, they really enjoy the experience. So, you know, I think either way is good, but in certain situations, as I mentioned in this video, I do think it's it makes more sense to just go through the process by yourself. So thank you for watching, and good luck with the process.